Hey everyone, we have a whirlwind of sensational news today. The FIA is launching an investigation into the flexibility of the front wing, causing a stir in the garages, especially for a team that has been standing out recently. Mercedes is bringing new updates to aim for the Constructors' Championship, but is it enough? And Red Bull is facing an internal crisis that could change the course of the championship. There's a Mercedes engine supply deal causing a commotion behind the scenes, as a certain driver is waiting for this deal to decide his future. Haas surprises everyone with their new driver choice. And there's much more. Stay tuned to get all the details that are shaking up the paddock. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything, and let's get to it. Let's start with the news of the moment. The FIA is keeping an eye on the flexibility of front wings. After Red Bull raised suspicions about anomalous twists in their competitors' wings, especially McLaren, which has recently been outperforming Red Bull as the fastest car on the grid. Following these complaints, the federation decided to act. Starting from the Belgian GP, a new technical directive will come into force. But what does this mean in practice? The FIA will monitor the rotation and twist of front wings at various speeds. To do this, they will use those famous colored markers attached to the sides of the wings and high-resolution cameras. The goal? To better understand the behavior of the wings under different aerodynamic loads, the FIA wants to check if the current static load tests are sufficient or if they need to be modified. This investigation could have serious consequences. If any team is using tricks to make the wings flex more than allowed, penalties could be on the way. Will we see drastic changes in the order of the grid? Stay tuned, because this topic promises to be exciting. And speaking of Red Bull, it seems that not everything is rosy for the championship leading team. Max Verstappen, the current three-time champion, was not at all happy with the car's performance in Hungary. The Dutchman was quite critical of the effectiveness of the latest updates brought by the team. Christian Horner, Red Bull's team principal, admitted that they need to expand the RB20's operating window. But the problem doesn't stop there. Helmut Marko, the team's advisor, pointed out Sergio Perez as Red Bull's biggest problem at the moment. According to Marko, Perez is unpredictable and inconsistent, which could cost them dearly in the Constructors' Championship. And there are rumors that when Adrian Newey, the aerodynamic genius, decided to leave Red Bull, Verstappen was so frustrated that he even considered a move to Mercedes as early as 2025. It seems he just wants the fastest car, no matter which team it is. But Red Bull managed to avoid this situation by extending Helmut Marko's contract, who was one of Verstappen's pillars at Red Bull. By ensuring one stays, the other stays too, at least until 2026. But the question remains, how long can the team maintain internal harmony? And how will this affect their on-track performance? The pressure is only increasing. Now let's talk about Mercedes. The German team is on a streak of 5 consecutive podiums and wants to keep the momentum going. Team principal Toto Wolff is confident but realistic. According to Wolff, Mercedes continues to improve the car's performance with each race. They are bringing small updates to each GP, including Spa. Their strategy is different from Ferrari and Red Bull, who opted for major upgrade packages. But is it enough? Wolff admits that there is still a bit of pace missing compared to their rivals. Mercedes is on a positive trajectory, but it's still not enough to fight for victory every weekend. Interestingly, Mercedes seems to have improved even in the heat of Budapest, where the car used to struggle. This is a good sign for Spa, where conditions can be quite varied. The big question is, will Mercedes be able to get even closer to Red Bull and McLaren? Or will Toto Wolff's team have to settle for being the best of the rest? The Belgian GP might give us some answers. Now there's a piece of news that's shaking up the paddock, rumors of an engine supply deal involving Mercedes. And guess who's at the center of this story? None other than Flavio Briatore. According to sources, Briatore is saying he has a deal with Mercedes for engine supply in 2026. But hold on, it's not that simple. There are several obstacles in the way. First, Briatore seems to be using this as bait to attract Carlos Sainz. The Spanish driver is interested but wants concrete guarantees before signing anything with Alpine. The problem is that this kind of deal takes time to finalize, especially during the holiday period in France. It's practically impossible to have everything set for 2025. And there's more. Apparently, No one informed the folks at Renault about this. The engine department was not happy to read in the media that their project might be interrupted. There are even fears of a possible strike. What would happen to Alpine if this deal actually goes through? One thing is certain. This topic is sure to spark a lot of discussions in the coming months. Now, let's talk about Ferrari. It seems the Italian team is apprehensive about Spa-Francorchamps. Charles Leclerc is openly worried about the car's performance in the upcoming race. The problem? The notorious bouncing at high speeds. Since the updates introduced in Barcelona, Ferrari has been struggling with this undesirable effect, especially on fast circuits. Leclerc believes that Spa will be a real test for the team. If the bouncing issue hasn't been resolved, it will become very apparent on the long straights and high-speed corners of the Belgian circuit. The team is working on modifications to the floor to try to minimize the problem, but will they have enough time to fix it before the Belgian GP? This situation puts Ferrari in a delicate position. They have already dropped to the 4th position in terms of car performance, behind Red Bull, McLaren, and Mercedes. A poor result at Spa could be disastrous for the team in the championship. Will we see the prancing horse stumble again? Or will Ferrari be able to overcome their difficulties and deliver a positive surprise at Spa? The weekend in Belgium promises to be crucial for the Scuderia's season. And to finish on a high note, we have a bombshell from Haas. The American team has just announced the signing of Esteban Ocon for 2025. That's right, the current Alpine driver has signed a multi-year contract with Haas. He will team up with rookie Ollie Behrman, forming an interesting combination of experience and youth. This move marks a complete renewal of Haas's driver lineup for 2025. Kevin Magnussen had already announced his departure, and now we know who will take his place. Ayao Komatsu, the new team principal, did not hide his excitement about the signing. According to him, Ocon brings the ideal combination of speed and experience that Haas needs to develop not only the car but the team as a whole. For Ocon, it will be a new challenge in his career. This move raises several interesting questions. How will Ocon fare in a team with a smaller budget? Will he be able to elevate Haas's level? F1 never ceases to amaze us. Recapping, we have the FIA keeping an eye on flexible wings, Mercedes bringing updates, a crisis at Red Bull, rumors of a new engine deal, Ferrari fearing Spa, and Haas completely renewing for 2025. And you? What did you think of all this news? Which story surprised you the most? Leave your comments and predictions for the upcoming races. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with all the latest in the F1 world. See you next time, and may the best team win.